I've been getting a lot of questions recently about how to speak with racist friends and family about their racism. And look, to be honest, I'm not 100% sure how to do that because I personally don't have that issue, but I have had to have difficult conversations before. And so knowing what I know about human behavior, this is probably what I would do in that situation. Before bringing up the subject of racism, I would remember that nobody sees themselves as a racist, nor does anybody want to be associated with racists. So suggesting right off the bat that they could be racist or that they have racist tendencies may end up turning them off from wanting to even have a dialogue. So that's the first thing. Next, one of the best ways to get somebody's undivided attention in a positive way is to validate their experience. And by that, I mean, instead of opening the conversation, talking about all the ways that they exhibit racism, I may start by reminding them of all of the things that I appreciate and admire about them as a person and how they've shown up for me or other family members over the years. And I would try to be very specific about all of those things that I admired about them. So I'm not talking about surface flattery here. I'm talking about genuinely pointing out the good things that this person has done, or even identifying the values that they live by, right? Everyone, closet racists, everybody has some sort of value system that they live by. Maybe they believe that we're all God's children or something like that. Anyway, this will make them much more likely to be open to a conversation. But before I launch into it, I'll say that, I have something really important to me that I want to talk to them about, and it's kind of hard for me to discuss, which is true, and that I'm not quite sure how to even bring it up. And then I'll ask them if they're open to hearing what I have to say. And if not, look, it's okay. Maybe this isn't the right time or place. Now, of course, if they care a lot about you and they feel seen by you, which is why you validated their experience, they're going to say yes. And then I'll say that, look, there's this one thing that doesn't quite seem to add up with the whole we're all God's children value. And it's the way that I've heard you refer to people of color. Again, I'm making this up as I go. And then I'll say that, I wanted to understand how it all fits together because I've got some close friends who happen to be black, and my experience has been quite different from some of the things that I've heard you say, et cetera, et cetera. Don't be accusatory. Instead, try to be as genuinely curious and as patient as possible. And remember, they don't see themselves as a racist. So if they start getting, uncomfortable or they clam up, I'd reassure them that, look, it's okay. We don't have to talk about this right now. We can talk about it another time whenever you feel ready. And mean it, right? And if you don't hear from them for a little while, maybe follow up with an email or a letter and use that same formula where you talk about what you admire and then you talk about the racism thing. And if you're wondering why I pulled back so easily, it's because this racism conversation isn't a one conversation deal, right? This is a situation that's going to require multiple conversations and ongoing dialogue over several months or years. So the point is, you got to be patient. You're not going to change anybody's mind or anybody's deeply held beliefs after 1 hour-long conversation. But if you care enough about them to take the long approach and to be patient and to keep validating their experiences, and not to just see them as some sort of one-dimensional racist, you're going to have a much greater chance of influencing them to think more inclusively over the long term. And the great thing about investing that kind of time is that if you can inspire somebody like that to become less racist, then they're going to turn around and inspire their more racist friends and allies to become less racist. So don't think of it as a waste of time just talking to one person, because you're doing a lot of good in the world by having these uncomfortable conversations if that person is connected with other people who have the same beliefs. So the other aspect of this is that your silence over the long term can be considered as consent, which is not what you want either.
If you like that video, you're going to love the next one. Click this thumbnail right here and I'll see you over there.